going to be, we're going to start with State of Batman.
The State of Batman. The movie, latest news that we have from the State of Batman in the movie news department, we have a Suicide Squad synopsis was dropped as a spoiler.
Dropped as a spoiler? Well, you know, it's
We're not
kind
going
of...
to tell people what that is. We're just going to say that it's out there. Should we just say that?
Well, I mean, there's a synopsis out there, but the synopsis essentially was, I mean, for anybody who's actually read the Suicide Squad, I mean, the synopsis was essentially, in a nutshell, outlaws who are forced to work for a government-type agency against their will, with threat of jail time or death sentences, or maybe they had a death sentence they got him out of, and they don't do this mission, they can just go right back in that death sentence with some Deadshot and Justice League Unlimited. That was his deal. In the episode called Task Force X, that's a great episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's essentially in a nutshell. It's like if you read any kind of Suicide Squad, or it's essentially what Suicide Squad's all about. What it's always kind of been about. Just the synopsis.
Yeah, they're under threat. They're going to be punished further if they don't do this, and so I guess they don't have much choice. But the actual plot is revealed in this synopsis that you saw, right?
Well, no. That was all. That was it.
That's really not a spoiler.
No. I mean, it is a spoiler if you've don't have no idea what Suicide Squad is, and you go in there like, who the hell is Suicide Squad? I don't know who these people are. But then maybe, I mean, it'd be a spoiler.
Basic premise to me, but that's just.
But if you read any kind of comics, like, you're all good. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I'm kind of feel like I caught up. I don't feel like I'm like not caught up or anything like that.
Apparently, Tom Hardy was approached to be in Suicide Squad.
No, he was originally cast as Jack Flag. I'm not
okay.
too familiar with Jack Flag's character, actually, but anyway, he's just probably a B. I mean, he sounds like a B villain from the DC universe. But anyway, Tom Hardy was actually originally cast as that, and I actually read that article today, and I posted it actually on the website. And it's a picture of like Tom Hardy with like a rough ass beard with like Leonardo DiCaprio, because they're in that new movie.
Yeah, The Revenant.
The Revenant. Do you know anything about that movie? You know what that movie's about, or?
You know, it's really, it kind of reminds me a lot of a film with Richard Harris from way back in the '70s called Man in the Wilderness. It's about a guy who's he's on some kind of an expedition. In this case, I believe he has a son.
Okay.
And somehow or another, Tom Hardy's character is responsible for his son's death, and he wants revenge. He is mauled by a bear at some point, and they leave him for dead. And it's kind of. In classical storytelling terms, is probably more of like that classic hero's journey where he gets, just almost dead, and he has to claw his way back to life and get revenge. And you go all that distance to get to that point where you're going to kill the guy who ruined your life and took your son, and then you realize how empty that revenge is. What you needed to do was survive.
So it's a revenge tale.
It sounds like that. Yeah, it seems like that to me.
Oh, it sounds like it's fitting in a Batman podcast. Eventually, I mean, whatever.
Yeah, it looks badass. And because they say it's going to get DiCaprio an Oscar, it will not get him an Oscar.
Well, he always almost wins but doesn't win. Yeah, do you remember he was nominated for What's Eating Gilbert Grape back in the day for Best Supporting Actor?
Yes.
That's a great movie.
He's a great actor, but he's
I
not
like
gonna win
him
because people start talking about it and they jinx him, and bam, it's over.
Do you think he'll ever play a superhero?
If there's a fitting enough superhero that they're going to make a movie about that he would fit in the role of, I have no idea who that would be.
I mean, if Will Smith's like jumping in that universe now, I mean, who's to say other A-list celebrities aren't going to? But Leonardo DiCaprio is on that level where he's just huge. Well, so is Will Smith, but it's hard to say. It's hard to say.
It's funny. There's probably actors in Hollywood now that you have to kind of make the distinction between whether or not they're going to say, do I want to be in a superhero film? I wonder if half of them are like, superhero films are ruining Hollywood.
Well, anyway, the article I read was actually Tom Hardy was pissed.
Yes.
Because what happened was where they were filming The Revenant, it didn't snow. So they had to stop production for a couple of months, and it overran when they were going to start shooting for Suicide Squad. And the article was talking about how Tom Hardy was mad because I
hate Tony Dane fucking wood.
He was like, man, you cost me money every day. And like he was mad because like he was missing out on like some big old, probably some multi-contract deal with DC, you know what I'm saying? And Jack Flag, although I'm not too familiar with it, I'm sure like Tom Hardy would have been awesome because I love Tom Hardy.
I honestly don't know who Jack Flag is. He sounds to me like the bad guy from Stephen King's The Stand.
Right.
But that's a totally different world entirely.
Exactly. But Tom Hardy was just, it would have been, I think we missed out because I think Tom Hardy would have been excellent in that movie because he's really good in anything he does. Like, I've liked him in almost everything, and he would have been solid.
He kind of got shortchanged in Dark Knight Rises because he was acting through the mask.
Yeah, and a lot of people said, what did they say? He sounded like, anyway, they had a problem. A lot of people had a problem with his voice.
It's weird when you're acting through a mask.
Right.
You become unrecognizable.
Right.
You know, I did a show with Nick, the Alice played the Crow, and I had a mask on the whole time.
What play was that?
It was the Alice in Wonderland, Rebellion in Wonderland thing.
Rebellion in Wonderland.
Yes, I played the Crow, and I acted through a mask, and I ran into people who had seen that show, and they had seen the show, but they didn't recognize me because I had been wearing the mask, but they didn't even know I was in it.
Really?
Yeah, and when you put that on one of your actors, even if his name is splashed all over the credits, as it was, people could still not know who you are.
Right. Right.
That's just a factor you have to when your face
Right.
is obscured.
For me, I think that movie was just had a lot of I think writing, screenplay problems, maybe,
Yeah.
and kind of a lot of plot problems. So that wasn't necessarily his fault anyway.
Yeah, and they played that really weird trick with Talia.
Yeah.
But that's a totally different movie.
Oh damn, he looked burl in that movie though, dude. Like
Oh
he
my
was,
God,
he was
so ripped.
he was Bane.
So
he was
ripped.
Bane
But
in
no
that
Venom.
movie.
No Venom. I kind of missed the Venom.
I like how they didn't add the Venom. Venom kind of adds
Too
like
cartoonish?
too cartoonish.
Okay.
I mean, it works in the comic books.
Yes.
And it's funny
And
because
the
if
animated
you read
series.
if you read Batman Eternal, we actually funny. When I was editing the video, I realized we didn't talk about it at all. I'm only gonna mention it real briefly. But there was a big fight between the Red Hood and Bane. Because Bane is actually, after the whole Bane War thing in Gotham, he actually went back to his island and he realized the island got taken over by the Church of...
Yes, we didn't really talk about that. He did have a really big fight with
The Church of Saint... What's the name of the church? It's the Church of...
the Doma,
Damas.
yeah, and they're the ones that actually are featured. They're the bad guy in Gotham is connected.
Is that
to
the
them.
same family?
Yes,
Oh, right.
Yes.
And they're kind of tied to Ezekiel. We didn't talk about how they actually released... it was the... introduction of Jean-Paul Valley, one of the most favorite Batman character
who took up the mantle of the
wannabes
Bat after the,
in the Batman universe. Everybody hates him.
Yeah, well, of
but
course,
Jean-Paul
because-
Valley's a terrible character, but he's absolutely real.
And here's there's a strange juxtaposition there when we're talking about the current Batman series and the fact that Gordon is Batman, because one of the reasons people hate Jean-Paul Valley is because he was Azrael and he kind of soiled the cowl when he wore it. He took it up after Batman had his back broke. And he did some nasty shit, and ultimately Batman had to take him down.
He did. Anyway, I digress. I just want to mention that we didn't talk about a fat fight between Bane, because Bane's kind of like the anti. He's not using the Venom anymore, I guess. He's not using the Venom anymore.
He's kind of.
He wants to prove himself without the Venom.
He kind of looked like an insurgent to me, you know, like in hiding.
Right.
They kinda
Like a rebel. Like he wants to take his island back like a rebel, like a Che.
Stumbled over him. He's got a beard. I'm like, that's Bane.
Like a Che Guevara kind of guy. You know what I'm saying? Like yeah. No.
In Batman v Superman, we saw some new posters released.
The posters are awesome.
Yes.
Actually, it's my screensaver on my phone. I have the Wonder Woman one.
The armored one, yes.
I have the Wonder Woman one.
He has the Wonder Woman one.
I think I have.
Neither of us have Kal-El. We were kind of joking about
I
that
think
earlier.
I have a crush on Gal
I
Gadot.
don't
Like,
doubt that one iota.
she's
He's got a poster of her on her wall. It's a badass poster though. It's like
the Wonder Woman one. It's actually the Wonder Woman one I have on the wall is actually a Wonder Woman. They have a lot of covers. It's called
it reminds me of the Rosie the Riveter thing with the we can do it. She's busted out of a chain, but it's the same artistic style, same throwback style.
What's a series of centerfold, like not centerfold, but like kind of like a special covers they're doing, like old school covers they're doing, like kind of maybe advertisements from the old DC comic books and old advertisements. Like that was actually like a Wonder Woman mock on that World War II advertisement. There's a lot of those covers come out this month, and actually Bombshells, DC Bombshells. It's a series, and it's actually
Good title.
Catwoman, Batgirl, Wonder Woman. There's a bunch of who's the Aquaman's lady?
You got me.
Mona. Anyway, Aquaman's lady,
Monet.
and it's just Power Girl. There's just a bunch of different characters in that series. Actually, series is out right now.
Power Girl. We need more Power Girl.
I don't really know who Power Girl is.
She's buxom.
Is she a clone of?
No, she's kind of we gotta actually do some research on Power Girl. All I know is this: if there were a Marilyn Monroe version of a superhero,
Right.
she would be it. She's busty, and she's like voluptuous, and she's actually and she's really powerful, and she can pick shit up and throw it, and she can fly, and she actually I encourage everyone to go out and check out something called JL8. It's a
JL8.
JL8. It is a kids' representation of the Justice League, as if the Justice League were in elementary school.
Oh, that's good. That sounds awesome.
It's hilarious. It's actually very cute.
Anyway, we're getting off topic.
But in the Batman Superman posters, one of the things that they focused on, something I read about today, said that they were more colorful. So when you look at them, they are more colorful. They are more. They kind of leap out at you, and I think that's kind of an answer to the DC is somber.
Well, yeah, I mean, they were trying to get away from, like I said in the last podcast, they're trying to get away from that kind of somber Batman, like in the dark, and
then they had the joke
and
in the
the
trailer.
mad Superman,
Yeah,
and
they had
like
the joke in the trailer. They're trying to lighten things up.
Did the one in the trailer?
The joke in the trailer. Remember where is she with you? No, I thought she was with you.
Oh, right. Yeah, they had that in the trailer.
They were getting funny, so they're trying to lighten it up a bit.
They're trying to let up and live. And honestly, like the posters are badass. And
They
I honestly,
are.
like,
Oh my God.
I might have to get a couple of those. Maybe the Batman one and the Wonder Woman one.
There's a new toy line associated with the Batman v Superman. The figures are awesome.
Oh, right.
They are so detailed. There's a
Which characters did you see?
Batman of Arabia.
I saw that actually. It looks sick.
Yes, also known
I'm
as
gonna
Desert
buy that
Batman.
one.
Superman, of course. We have Wonder Woman. We have the armored Batman from when he faces Superman in the fight, and we have the standard Batman in the Affleck version.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Oh, and actually they just recently released on Arkham Knight for the Xbox One and PS4 and PC. Well, the new Batman Arkham Knight game. They have the DLC for the skin for the you can get the Batmobile.
Yes.
From the movie, and you can also get the Bat skin.
That's cool.
Oh, I'm.